between the salary adjustments and this full-time equivalent impact next year's budget.
Mm-hmm. Right. The question is, have we advertised this farmer's market position?
No.
No, we haven't advertised
So
it.
if you advertise it at one pay grade and then council approves it and you bump it down,
You've advertised the special events school,
Yes, yes, we did.
but not the
Not
farmers.
the assistant.
Why instead
Not the
of spending $31,000, $43,000 in another position, we don't give those funds to business owners so they can actually create more jobs in our community? That's a lot of money for an events coordinator for a farmer's market that's not working, and I'm sorry to mess up with your budget.
you know, we're not messing up with the budget, but again, this, when you say give, what do you mean by give?
Well, $31,000,
grant?
you can give grants, you can do renovation help for the business owners, you can give all the stuff we were talking about on Saturday, we are able to do that with that money.
This,
It will be savings for the real business owners of this community.
Right.
Because this money is coming out of lodge and taxes and food taxes.
And that's a good point, and something you're gonna have to bring to council. But I would also say, what kind of grant are we gonna offer for $31,000? Is that gonna be enough money for businesses?
We can do it $2,000, $3,000 for each of those businesses.
But you need to bring in, well, you just can't do it for certain businesses. You gotta have a grant application for the
Yeah.
interior part of it. You gotta have a budget that we're gonna put out, criteria, a committee that's gonna meet on it.
Well,
and
we don't
decide
even
who's
have
gonna
to
get
spend
that.
the money.
Right, but again,
Well, that's a matter of opinion. I mean, and we all have different opinions on
Right.
that. But I
again, this is
see
gonna go
the
to.
benefit of an assistant, because we do more than one special event every year. We
Right.
do 30, 35 a year,
That's a lot.
at least.
Altogether.
Yeah, so.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I mean, Mr. Epperly has a good, an outstanding feel for running special events and so forth. And it's not just a farmer's market. He's also saying to expand our ability to cover
Right.
special events.
I agree with the person that Brad Epperly has. He's talking about that he's not just gonna make him a part-time, he's gonna make him a full-time. I will support that decision 100%. Now, I guess my question for that person will be, can you somehow, whatever, maybe we had to cut down, maybe what Hopper said, it was a good option. Maybe we have to think about maybe cutting out the days of the farmer's market. Maybe we don't have it for that many months. Maybe we don't have it every week. Maybe we have it once a month.
And
We're
again,
still getting into a farmer's market discussion.
Yeah, right.
and we're here-
Join-
Yeah,
again, if
definitely,
you-
definitely, but
John,
that's what
I'm
I'm
gonna ask you
talking
to step-
about.
I'll ask you to
That's
step-
why I'm talking about
I'm
the
going to
job.
ask you to stick to the agenda as before us.
And Joanna, that's a great idea, but you need to come up with a solution. Who's, is it gonna be once a month? How much is it gonna save us? You need to present that to council.
Well, I don't know how much it's
And I
gonna
don't think
cost
you've
us if
worked
I
on
don't
any
have
of
the
this.
money.
You haven't worked on
Well,
it.
I have asked for this, and
No,
this
no,
is
no,
what I
no,
get.
This is something you have to roll up your sleeves and get down, schedule an appointment with somebody. You just can't walk in and get down and
we're
prepare
not
something.
gonna
for us.
hostage the meeting to
Right.
talk about one topic that's not even on our agenda. We're talking about this position, and we will talk about the farmer's market and everything surrounding the farmer's market at a work session. And I'm gonna start being more direct, but that's what we're gonna do tonight. I'm gonna stick to this agenda. So, as far as action on this is just under consideration now.
Mhm.
Okay, what else do we have? Back to our agenda.
Just kind of general discussion of fiscal 2021 budget, including schedule and outlook. You have a draft budget schedule for you. Okay. Just, if you can, take a look at it and see if this, again, this is a draft. We want it to reflect what you want in regards to meeting schedule. Do you think 3 individual finance committees, of course, this is one of the meetings on the schedule. We may need more beyond that, but
Right.
I think at least 3 are in order.
Right.
Council meetings, of course, we've got the presentation of the budget is required for March 24th for our policy. We were thinking have a work session after that, the 7th. Potential work session on the 21st, although I think Val's probably going the 21st, but that's work session. We were thinking include the community support discussion. That would leave May 5th for potential another council work session if needed. May 12th, you could have a, basically public hearing on the budget, and that would free you up to vote on the budget either May 26th or June 9th.
I like to have the community support, you have the deadline is March 7th, so what's the week after that?
March 12th.
And do we have a council, I don't have a calendar here in front of me.
I don't either.
We need to have a
We need
meeting just for the community support, prior to town council regular meeting presentation, and that's all we talk about.
I second that.
Because we're gonna spend it, unfortunately, we'll probably spend about 2 hours.
So the second meeting, second council meeting on the
Yeah.
budget?
No, I want it
Finance.
He's
the
saying
week of March
before,
12th,
yeah,
just for the community support discussion. Meaning
When do
that,
those funds go home?
not until we approve, and there's criteria for that too, they have to prove that they used it for a certain, it's just not, we just release them. Val could tell you a little bit more about it, I don't know.
The application's already been due.
Right, the
Yes.
applications are due, you need to vote on what you support, and then we come in, and unlike years past, we're actually gonna dedicate a whole work session on this, because as we discussed Saturday, is we usually have our budget work session and spend half the time talking about community support, which is less than I think less than 1% of the total
It's like
budget.
0.1%.
So things that you talked about tonight, that would cut into that, unless we were here all night long. So I'd rather just discuss community
Yeah.
support and then things that matter to Ms. Hicks, then you can have your agenda and ready to go when we meet on the budget.
Would you think March 17th for community support?
What's our meeting, what are our regular meeting dates?
Your regular meetings are the 10th and the 24th for March.
Okay.
I would almost ask that we have it maybe the Thursday after that, at 6, scheduled 6 to 8. I mean, that would be the string, but I would like to have it that week, Randy, to give Val enough time to put it in the budget.
Okay.
He's talking the week, you're talking about the week of the 12th?
We could do the 12th. We can do the
There's
17th.
17th is an off week, right?
So, yes,
I'm
the
sorry.
17th is off Tuesday.
We can go.
That would
I'll
be-
do it the 17th.
That would be a good time.
Can you put it out there, everybody?
March 17th for council
Yeah.
work session on community support.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus, there's other items that I know certain council members want to discuss. Joanna, you were one of them about, limiting the amount of funds.
Putting a
That's,
cap on it.
that's why you're going to have to dedicate 2 hours to this.
Okay, so
we
we're at,
did have a number of proposed changes to the whole community support thing that we talked about last fall, I think, that we didn't really move forward on in time to change our application process for this year. Do you want to include that
Yes.
discussion in
Yes.
this March 17th work
Yeah.
session?
yeah.
I mean, I think it's probably too late to do anything about it this year, but
Well, as long as, the key is if council can weigh in on it and we start 2021, I'm fine with that. We should have done this last fall, but we didn't, so.
But then if they want the money, I will advise them to show up with a presentation or something where they're gonna tell us why are we supposed to give you them money.
Well, I'm hoping most of them will
Most
show
of
up for
them
the
do.
work session.
Some of them don't, and it changes from year to year, who shows up and who we fund,
Now,
so.
correct
Okay.
me if I'm wrong, in the past, it seems like last year, I know that each of you voted,
Right,
and there
We're
was,
doing that
was there
this year.
not a column that if you said, well, I don't wanna give them 10,000, but I'm gonna give them 5,
and that was a disaster.
was it?
Yeah,
So
it was
we're
a
gonna go
disaster.
yes or no?
Because if you're gonna, either gonna, or what we just found from that exercise is that it was sort of, if the free clinic asked for $15,000, and 4 council members said yes, 2 said no, and 1 said they would support it at $5,000, then we end up saying, okay, we'll fund you, but not for $15,000. The majority said we'll support you, but then we'll fund them at, $12,306 or something crazy like that.
Right.
And either we decided that it's tidier and more practical to both the town and the potential recipient is either their grant is funded or it's not.
Right, for what they need.
The museum is a good example,
Right.
the free clinic, brain injury, you know, the different, and, you know, and that's, it's either thumbs up or thumbs down, we found, is probably the most democratic way to do it and the tidiest way to do it. Either their grant request is funded or it's not.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense, that's fair.
I mean, that's,
But we had that, we tried it. in the
we
past,
did,
it
and
wasn't-
that's what happened.
It's a bit of a cluster, yeah.
Well, can you correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the Christiansburg Institute roof thing on for several years, right? So we just finished that one, and that's why we gave them $75,000 last year.
Last year. And then
And
they're
so
asking for
now
$80.
they're asking for 85, or 80, 80, so yeah, they're asking for $80,000, which is more than last year, but are they doing they cannot do another roof, so are they doing walls? What are they
I have not
Look
looked
at the
it.
attachment,
Yeah.
Val summed up what they,
So it's under
and
there.
then you can come by here
It
and
has-
get the
yeah.
applications that they actually.
Because some
put
of the only information I found out.
I have
I'll
not
sum
looked at that
everything
myself
up,
at all.
right?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
there's
it
a-
wasn't
there's a
sent in.
summary.
I thought you said that under the summary, it wasn't that information. I want more detail. I want the whole application. So can you
Oh,
send those
yeah.
to me, please?
We're working on a Dropbox form, Craig's working on
Yeah.
that, so that basically all the council can have access to them. They do have, at least some of the forms have personal identifiable information that we can't, PII, that we can't release. We can release it in a redacted version, but if council wanted to see the full application, we need to put it in basically a folder where it can't be, basically, it can't be saved, it can't be printed. Craig can set that up for us, he's working on it.
Now, what about screenshots?
I guess you could do that.
Yeah, just send me screenshots or something
No.
over the email. So.
No, they're saying.
There's
they're
some
saying-
personal information on it, so if,
Well,
let's
they
say you
can scratch
print.
off some of the personal information, but I'm more than sure I want to have that information.
Okay.
So I would really like to have all of the application information, not just a little printout saying, hey, we want money.
You won't be able to share it with the general public if it's not with the redacted versions.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, I would just go in and talk about it. See if you can schedule a time to pick up a redacted version.
Yes.
So can we review them?
Yeah.
Well, and it's, I mean, I don't know what the legal implications are, but if a council member wants it, is it okay for a council member to see PII?
I mean, I want to see the information.
I'm just asking if she wants to, if she wants a printout of that.
Absolutely it is. Actually, we would probably be
They're
held,
kind of seeing like staff.
yeah,
Okay.
and
No, I don't-
we're held
I'm
to our
just
standard
asking.
on that. So if we disclose it and it gets out there and then the town gets sued, you as a council person would be included in
Well, the applications, or typically we see the applications and everything the money has been used for in the past and what it's going to be used, that's in their application, right?
that.
Right.
And we are able to see that. I'm not sure what, is this year any different? Okay,
So
so,
some of them have financial forms that are included though, and they have,
Their financial data, their tax returns, so their 990 return, which for the most part, the 990s are public information, except to the extent that there occasionally is public, or personal identifiable information in there, like an owner's name or with their social security number or something like that. And we typically don't, because some of those 990s are 100 pages long. We don't go through and redact information out of them. So it's just really, without my spending hours going through and redacting PII from the documents, if we can just put them out in a Dropbox that, you know, it's available for all council members to look at. You can read the full application, you can read their 100-page 990 report if that is
Well,
what you want to look at. I mean, it's available. I don't think it's
so
a,
can you correct me if I'm wrong? A nonprofit organization, they have, everything has to be disclosed, right? Everything, they can share all that information to the public if you
yes, they
request
can.
it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
So-
It is public information for the most part. Occasionally in a 990, there may be a social security number or something from a major director or something like that, and that is considered PII and is not foible. It would get redacted in anything that they put out. So the majority of the information out there is all public information. My only concern is there might be one social security number out there that we didn't catch or didn't redact. That would be my only concern.
So under the application, there is no separate pages where they're gonna talk about everything they're gonna do with the money and everything else, which it will not include their private information?
There's nothing in the application that would be PII, but
Right.
in the
Or
attachments.
that's what I remember.
In the attachments to the application, sometimes
want us
it
to simply-
includes financial data, financial reports.
So can you please
Their actual
separate it
tax
for me so I can
returns.
see them?
Just the application.
Yeah, the application.
And that's what we get. We get those now.
Just
We've
so-
got,
Part of the problem
Oh.
is the application a lot of
It's
times
attached
says
already.
these attached.
Yes, and they attach it to it already.
Yeah.
Okay.
so I haven't looked at what was sent out this year, but in years past, you have sent out all the applications.
No, we send out a summary of all of the
Well,
applications.
okay, the
Yeah.
summary, okay, but not the actual.
But this new program is gonna allow us to look at the applications, not the attachments.
They're all combined in a file.
If we went the Dropbox route, you could see everything,
Yeah.
unless we
Why would you wanna do that?
selectively.
Why would you wanna do everything?
We could go through and redact, or we could go in and just simply put the applications.
Can you please
Put the
redact it for me
applications
so I
and
can have
scan
the
them.
information?
Put them to that Dropbox.
I would just do the applications. If a council person wants to
See any
dig
supporting
deeper,
information, they can come in.
they
and
can
see
come in
it.
and look at it.
So we're gonna see applications, and then some of the attachments, if they're questionable, if a council member wants to see those, they can see those. Is that what we're saying?
In person.
Are you okay with that?
That's better than nothing.
Well, I mean, that's everything but the attachments, that's, we're seeing the full application. And so what we've seen in the past is not the application itself, but your summary
summary
of
of
the
the
review. Okay,
application, yeah.
I stand corrected on that.
Yeah, the summary
Which is out
didn't
there
give me
now.
all the information.
And I've not looked at this year's, but I stand corrected on that. I thought that we'd seen the application themselves. Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
Everything else seems like it's,
So, community support, basically, we're gonna add a work session for community support on March 17th.
And that's the council work session.
And that's a council work session, right? Okay.
when are you proposing putting this in front of council?
Up to you guys.
Yeah, they probably
What
have
is
another
your-
finance committee meeting.
Yeah, do
With this?
This is a bond.
what's your desire?
I'll tell you that right now, that's a bonzer, and I don't know, I mean, this is probably require another meeting almost by itself, unless you wanted to bring this up. Well, yeah, you're planning to bring, if we moved ahead with this, you would bring this up into this $665,000 we roll into next year's budget. Okay, we need another meeting on that alone. So,
Do we need to maybe do it as a council work session?
Yes.
On the budget amendment?
yes.
Yep.
Yes, that is a good idea. I think we'll get the whole gang in here for that. I think that's an outstanding idea. So,
I would say if we got, well, he's not gonna upgrade council for a while, right? Upgrade, is he going, how fast is he upgrading council chambers?
It'll probably take, a month or two, I would think.
yeah, so the budget, the work session on the 17th will be for community support and the budget amendment, right?
Do it that way.
Is that what we're saying,
Back on lunch?
Henry?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay.
We can be here till 11, right? We are gonna be here till, I guarantee you, we'll be here after. I don't have a problem with that. I'm good. I think it'd be 3 hours. So I'd let everybody know.
It's gonna be done here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have, I got so lost in traffic the last time.
No, if the cameras were up in the council chambers, I would suggest we do it in there, but we can get video.
Whichever.
We can film the meeting.
It's gonna be here at Town Hall, and y'all can figure out where you wanna have it, but,
Here's my thing is, somebody needs to reach out to the organizations that applied and let them know we're having this work session. Even though they may not, there won't be any public address, there might be some questions you have for the organization directly. So I would let them know. Those who show up,
I think if we're gonna invite them
We'll
to
have
be
it in
here,
there.
we're not gonna have time to address
Yeah.
community support.
Yeah, I know, can we do that another time? Can we do our meeting and then can we invite them to come in another session? I mean, we're gonna be here until 1 o'clock in the morning.
no,
so allowing
we won't
them.
be here that late.
We could set a time limit for both, I mean, but if we feel like that, I do agree that if we're gonna have public comment, we're gonna have,
No, I said no public comment,
well, we're gonna have a discussion with people present to ask questions to,
if they show up.
if they show up.
I mean, I'm sure somebody's gonna have a question for whomever maybe they're on the fence with, or somebody there supported, but, or didn't support, and that organization shows up. I don't know, but I think they should have fair warning we're gonna do this, whether or not they show up or not. I guess just put it out there. And I don't know, I don't wanna take any more of your staff's time, but they should have, I'd rather them have an option to show up if a council member has a question, than to not show up and say, well, if only we known about this meeting, we would've showed up. You got me?
Mhm.
And I will say, I'm disappointed, even a little upset, we're not starting, I mean, this has dropped out of the sky. Have you mentioned anything about a budget amendment like that?
We talked about potential public works increases.
Yeah, okay, but this is dropped out of the sky in a big way.
So these are gonna have to be two separate meetings.
I think so,
And
yeah.
if it has to be the same week, so be it. You know, Tuesday and Thursday or something, or Tuesday and Wednesday, that's the way it needs to occur if we gotta have this thing done.
I think we will have to have work, yeah, I agree, because, I mean, after all of our wrangling last year, this is not too shy of that, and it's, okay, so. Let's pick another date, because I think we're gonna need one for each.
How long do we have before we have to approve this one, the amendment?
Yeah, the budget amendment, well, our
Well,
hair's on fire, not on one single
To the extent
thing
that
on
it
here.
impacts the
Yeah.
proposed budget, that's kind of what puts a monkey wrench on there.
So you're gonna have to have it the week, I would say the week of March. We're just gonna have to have two work sessions.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
With council.
Let's see.
Well, Jana, you won't be the only one. I mean, what you don't want is for this to get presented in an open session where somebody feels like well, I'm not really sure about this, do I wanna ask a question about it? And that's what our work sessions are for. Sort of an informal, where somebody feels comfortable, like here, asking questions.
It's one committee. So, do we want to pick, is it too early to say the week? Well, we can't have one, we have a meeting on the 10th, a regular meeting on the 10th. If we back that up to March 3rd, that would be next week.
On Tuesday?
Huh?
That's a Tuesday.
Unless we want to have two meetings and maybe have one on March 17th, which is a Tuesday or off Tuesday, and have another one Thursday.
I can do it
That
next,
sounds good.
I can do it next Tuesday.
Community support,
No.
Tuesday, budget.
This,
Like
Tuesday.
the amendment, so-
community support, you can't do until after the deadlines, unless everybody's already turned in their.
The deadline's already passed.
Deadline's passed for community support.
No. for
Our votes, the votes.
Our decision, our
Oh,
votes.
yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah. Good point, Henry, good point, yeah.
When is that, when
The
do we
March-
have to turn that in
I
again?
think it said March 7th was the council vote.
I'm saying March 7th, I can't remember what
So
day
we
it is.
shouldn't be voting on this stuff unless we have all the information and we talk to each other, right?
Yeah, we're not voting on anything, period. We're just
No.
talking right now. This is all talk. This
But
is
you-
all-
Joanna, you need to come in, look at the applications, and if you want to participate in that, either we award or not, because it is a council decision. If the majority says we're going to award this much, that's the way it's going to be, okay?
I
But you
think-
need to have that submitted prior to our work session.
I think I see what Johanna's saying. She's saying she wants more information to make your decision.
Exactly.
And then,
From March 7th, you don't think you could read and?
well,
No, I mean, we're having talks about them and everything else.
What are
and
we talking
wanna
about?
hear-
Community support?
Yes,
Right, well, the deadline for council to turn in their votes is March 7th.
so it's like being a politician and knowing what they're about, and then voting
Right.
before you find out what they
well,
are.
that's what I'm hearing, is that
Right, but today is what?
today is February 24th.
24, so that means can we meet this week or something, or
Well, I think
before we
what you want is more information before you vote.
Exactly.
That's what I'm hearing.
That's what
Yes,
we're
and that's
recommending,
what
is
we're
come in. Bill's
Get your
got a conference
information.
space over there, you can read the applications.
Well, why can we have that conversation, if we're having a work session about it, why can we have that talk, all of us? So I get to hear from you, what's your take on that, I wanna hear from Showalter, I wanna hear from all of you.
And we'll do that, but
I mean, that will be kind of done after the fact, so what's the
And-
point of even talking about it?
Is you cast a vote, even though we have a work session, you can still plead your case, or you can say, what do you think, why are you supporting this, or who's supporting this, but Val needs to know some sort of direction who we're gonna award these to.
I think we should have the work session before we go on and vote on it, because we don't have no information, I don't even have all the information.
Right, but you can come in and get that in the next 10 days, find out that information, and cast your vote, who you wanna support or who you don't wanna support. Or you can just go through and mark none all the way down. That's your choice, do that.
And I think that Val said what she's going to make available is the applications themselves, without the PII.
Yes, I can do that.
But
It's
no,
just a
no,
matter
but,
of time.
no, but the PII was in the attachments, you said? That's what I heard.
Pretty much, it's gonna be in the attachment, it's gonna be like in the 990s,
Might be
the
a
tax
matter of
returns. But
just-
I don't think there's anything in the application itself.
If you want to save all the applications to a folder, we could have Melissa and
Can
Amy
you
maybe
just
go
send-
through it.
Yeah, send me an email with that information, I don't have time to come over here every day for that.
Yeah, I got the folder, I showed it to Craig Friday, I think, where everything is and all the documents.
Might be easier just to factor out all the PII.
Yeah, it might be, I'm just not worried about it. I just don't have time to do
No,
that
I don't.
now, not
Like
this
I say,
week. Yeah,
public relations, look at it.
yeah, we can do that.
Just do the applications.
Just the applications
That's what
have
we
the
decided
information. I
a
think
little
you're not
about
interested in
20
this.
I don't care about
The
tax
balance is
returns.
Right.
I want the applications. I
Just
want
do
to
the
find out why they are
applications, right.
asking for the money, and that's it. I don't care about if, their financial stuff or whatever. It'll be good to know for themselves, but I need to know why are we giving the money. We should have a cap on that, but that's another whole thing we
Well,
can
that's
talk
what
about
we're
later
gonna talk
on.
about in the work session.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we're gonna have available the applications themselves. And how are those gonna be made available, just to be clear?
Would you rather email them? It's-
Can be Dropbox, email?
if
I
you-
like the Dropbox.
Yeah, they
Well, we
might
have
be
to
too
go
big
into
for
it, it's
email, they
private.
may,
Well,
Can you
just
follow
send it to
me?
me
Can
in
you copy?
3 different emails. Randy, you make really good money, you can send me that. I don't have time to come over here and, you work for us, you work for me. I want you and I expect you to please send me those applications. I wanna look at the stuff. I don't care how much time it's gonna take.
Well,
I would agree with that, put them in a folder.
the Dropbox will allow you
The
to log in
Dropbox
and
folder
look
will
at
be
it
available.
online.
It would
You
be a
go
link
look
through
at
an
it.
email, so basically it'd be an email either way.
Yeah.
And so our schedule is gonna be to have a work session on the 17th for community support, and then one on March 3rd for the budget amendment, is that right?
make sure I got that right. March 17th is,
Community support.
yep, and March 3rd on the budget amendment.
Yep, community support, your agenda should be for 2021, grant application adjustment, possibly for adjustments to the grant application for 2021, and then whatever this year's is. Is that? Sounds good.
Some other information I'll put with you is just information on the multiplier for Virginia retirement system. Basically an explanation of the general retirement formulas. It's on this sheet. And then there's a copy of what the chief has sent in regards to the emergency services multiplier.
Okay, so what's the difference in these two?
Basically, the rates you see at the top of this sheet are what the standard retirement rates are. In other words, what a normal town employee, say Val or Jim or I were to retire from the town, these are the retirement rates that we would be under. And these are based on when you were basically hired into the system, whether you're Plan 1 or Plan 2 or a hybrid employee, again, based on when you were hired into the Virginia retirement system. Basically, if you're a Plan 1 employee, like myself, when you retire, you have about 1.7% multiplier. The way you would calculate retirement is you take your average of your 3 highest years' salary. You would multiply it times your multiplier. In this case, my case, it'd be 1.7. Then you would multiply times the number of years service. And basically that would give you what the employee would get in retirement. Although emergency services employees, due to hazard type pay, are eligible to receive up to 1.85% VRS multiplier.
That's if they're not in Plan 2 and hybrid.
Well, even if they are Plan 2 or hybrid, basically emergency service employees are under a separate program.
They're all Plan 1.
Police, fire.
They're all Plan 1,
Yes.
but they're eligible for it.
Yes.
It's not a requirement
Yes,
from
they
VRS.
are all at 1.7 for the
They're
town.
getting what everybody else.
Yes, they are. Same as Val, Jim,
And current retirees are getting.
and current retirees. Correct.
That, right.
Correct.
But unlike our standard employees, for instance, anybody who started in 2013 and up, our emergency services personnel are still getting the old VRS
1.7.
1.7.
Even if they're a new hire.
Even if they're brand
Yes,
new, and they
correct.
are, a public works employee, let's say, would get the hybrid plan now.
Yes,
Whereas a new assistant fire chief would get Plan 1 regardless.
yes, correct.
Gotcha. But it's not a requirement by the state for us to do that,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
All right?
We'll tell you, it is basically this side of the state, it's pretty common to have the 1.85 multiplier. The document that the chief provided has a grid of basically localities that are using